just it was just boredom, I guess, that got me into it, you know.
Bo- Boredom got you into it. Uh, that's different. That's different because
Yeah.
I would have thought you had been doing music much longer than you said you had, based on the things I've listened to. And knowing that you're producing your own stuff, man, you stepping into a lot of different avenues there. How does that work for you to be able to be the producer and also, you write, you play instruments? Actually, how many instruments do you play?
I play five different instruments. I play the piano, the drums, the guitar, the bass, and the trumpet, and I sing as well.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. And so you the whole band. You doing everything. That's
Yeah, I like to. I don't like to ask people to do stuff on my tracks. You know, I just like to get it done because I don't like waiting on people. That's why I'm learning how to mix and master right now too. You know, so
Oh wow. So then you really gonna have everything down. You learn the mixing and mastering part of everything. You ain't gonna need anybody. You just gonna be able to put an album out, and it's all you.
right. Yeah, I mean, music is definitely a collaborative experience, but sometimes it's just better to just do it yourself. So.
Got you. So now, like I said, your styles are different. How would you describe the music that you typically create? Like, what would you call it?
I just call it music. You know, everyone always asks me, "Oh, like, what kind of stuff do you do?" And I'm like, I don't feel like there's like a certain category that it fits into because really, like, for me, it's just I just make what I feel at that time. And then my albums or like my EPs that I've come out with, they're just like compilations of like music that I have made. It's not like a common theme or something like that. Because I haven't gotten to that point yet, where I want to make like a whole story. I've just gotten to like this is how I'm feeling, so I'm gonna put this on a track and then put these tracks together because I finished them in the same time frame.
Hold on 1 second, man. I'm back. There we go.
There we go.
No, 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 no. Something happened. Something popped up on my screen, covering everything, so I couldn't see no more.
Nah, you're good. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's not you, but that's on me right there. I apologize. So like that said, what is your creative process like? Because when you're creating a track, do you create tracks first and then write lyrics, or do you write lyrics first and then sometimes you go back and create a track for that lyric, or is it you just have a special process? So could you explain that to the people for me?
Um, I really I hear music all the time. Like I'll be like all the time I'm about to fall asleep and I'll hear like a chord progression in my head. So I like wake up and hum it into my phone and then wait, work on it the next day or a couple days from then. But usually it's the chords first because music comes to me very, very naturally. So I do like the chords and the production, and then usually then I'll add melody, lyrics, or I'll ask my brother to help me write some stuff because he's very talented at that. And so we'll do stuff like that. And then after that I'll even add more production. I do a lot of post-production things on my tracks too because I like to add like certain guitar like licks and things like that in between. I just don't want them to interfere with the melody, so I just make sure I have the melody first and then put the things on
Okay,
embellishments on
got
top of
you.
that.
I got you. Yeah, so with that being said, like you said you constantly have the melodies and thing. I wanted to ask you, like, with the whole social media thing now, because I didn't grow up with that, so like you just had to put music out, put music until it gets hit. But now, how does social media play in you developing your sound and putting things out in other ways, other avenues to make money, to make revenue?
Um, I mean, it's just like it's really simple to put music out nowadays. Like you were saying, like literally anyone can go on like DistroKid or CD Baby and just put something out. So it's like I'm always just like I haven't put things out in like probably like a year and some change now, but I'm working on some things. But it's just like you just make it and post it basically, and then hopefully people catch along, and you just tell your homies, oh, tell people to repost this, et cetera, et cetera. At this point, like it's just about exposure at this point for me at least, because like I feel like starting so small, especially with streaming now, you don't have hard copies that you can sell and make, profit off of. Because your streaming revenue isn't gonna be very high until you're like getting a couple 100,000, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like it's really just about exposure at this point, and getting my name out there and making sure people know that like, oh, I can play, if I need someone to play guitar for them, I'm there. So
I got you. I got you. I definitely understand that because we're giving you exposure right now. We're putting your name out
right.
there, man.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I
like,
appreciate that for real. Thank you.
no problem, man, no problem, man. And I was like, you basically family now because who you rock with. So
Right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
My brother was telling me. So
Yeah, I've been knowing your brother a long time, man. So
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
he was
so
telling me.
yeah, so we definitely gonna be like that. Like you said, all the instruments you play. So what instrument do you enjoy playing the most? Like, which one do you like? Oh, I gotta have this instrument on my album.
Mm, it's probably guitar, honestly. It's either piano or guitar, but I think probably guitar. Like that's what I'm at school right now for, is playing guitar. And it's just like for me, it's just something different because like you can play piano really expressively, but guitar is like you just put your body and soul into it. You know, you listen to like the greats like BB King, you know, Jimi Hendrix, people like that. You can hear like the emotion that they play, like when they pull the strings up, you know, things like that. So for me, it's like that really like is like a different level of expression for me.
All right, I got you. I got you. I definitely understand that because, like, I'm not a musician, but as a basketball player growing up, football player growing up, being able to put your whole body into something,
Hmm.
I definitely understand that. It makes you feel a certain way when you do things the way, it's just a feeling.
Right.
So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I
for sure.
definitely get that. Also, you brought up BB King, Jimi Hendrix. So dead or alive, man, like what artists would you love to collab with?
Um, that's a tough question. There's so many people that I could like making a track with. Probably I'd probably say Hendrix, bro, because Hendrix is like the best to ever touch a guitar, honestly. Like I couldn't hold a match to him, but it would just be fun to like be in a studio and just like lay something down, you know.
That's dope. That's dope because that's one of my artists, and just to be around that, I understand. Like it's something special there.
Yeah, no, I definitely I agree. That was like a once in a lifetime talent. But
Okay. And I was like, you since you are, up and coming, um, what advice would you have for another artist that's up and coming that does basically the same thing you do, like a lot of instruments, you rap, you sing, like you really do it all. Like someone that's similar to you, what advice would you have for them trying to get into the industry?
um I'd say like I'm envisioning some, like my younger self, like 16 Kendall. I'd probably say like don't be afraid to just do what you want, you know, because I was like afraid to like make the music I actually want to make, you know, because I got some stuff that I have that's like really like I feel like is like my soul. So it's like, but I was afraid to put it out because I'm like, oh, people aren't gonna like this. It's too like this or that, or like just write about things that like you feel in your body. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of the times I got caught up in like the ideal that like I wanted to make something that people would like, but at the end of the day, it's like yeah, you're making music, but like someone's gonna like you don't know what someone is going through or what someone is feeling. So it's like they could be feeling the same thing you're feeling. And so I would tell someone that's like trying to come up or like that was similar to me when I was younger, like just don't be afraid to make 100% the art that you want to make. Like don't try to impress people, don't try to get liked by people. Like just do it yourself.
Uh, It's actually pretty deep there, because I've listened to your stuff, I've listened to it, and I was like, you're right, because like you can go from one song and then it'd be like hip hop ish, and
Hmm.
then you'll drop another song, and I was like, man, that's real pop like, and then I was like, that has a rock beat on it, so
Hmm.
it's like it's you're really putting out what you feel at that time. Like each song has like seems like it should be from a different album.
Right, yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah, so with that being said, what message would you have that you would like to relay in your music to your fans?
Oh, I mean, if I got any fans watching this, I appreciate you. I know my mom probably watching it, so that's my number one fan. But just spread love, you know, like everyone that knows me like knows that like I'm just a huge person about love, like, you know, not even just like religiously, like just as like a human, to be a good person, like you just want to like love people. And like that's like the whole point I try to do with my music, whether it's like me just playing on a gig for someone or like me making my own tracks. Like I'm just trying to convey love to people and acceptance because like so many people deal with things that like you don't even know about. And I'm not trying to be deep right now, but like so many people deal with things like you don't even know about or like they'll never even tell you about. And it's like that's why you just want to be nice to someone because you could make their day or you could break their day, you know, and like that's just like the beautiful part about life, I guess. But that's with music. I just hope people like feel it and they feel like they feel the love of, that life is beautiful. So,
No, that's actually dope because you what you just touched on, like you never know what someone's going through, and hurt people. So
oh
if
yeah.
you can brighten someone's day, you can stop something very bad from happening to someone else. So
For sure.
that's just a dope way to live life, and I wish everybody lived life that way. Sure, I even wish I lived life that way sometimes.
Hmm.
So you
No,
know,
yeah.
yeah, definitely with that. Um, Man, I actually touched on all my questions a little quicker than I thought it would. So about to wing it right here, man. so,
Hey, you good, man?
um, so you're in LA, right?
Yeah, I am.
Um, weren't you somewhere else before LA though?
I'm originally from South Dakota. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that's what
about
I was getting at. So tell me
yeah.
about that South Dakota music experience because I know it's really not the same as being in LA, with all the different genres and that nature, So how is
Yeah.
that being in South Dakota and doing music?
I think what I was touching on earlier about being afraid to make the music I want to make, I think that was partially because of where I was at, because South Dakota is like, it's different. It's a little bit more like conservative, like not just politically, but like the way that they like accept things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you might get outed for being different. And so I didn't want to be outed because I was already like brown. I already had curly hair. Like, I was not the typical South Dakotan that you would see. So like the music scene was kind of like I used to play with the band. Y'all can check that out on Spotify too. They're called Lapez, Lapez. But and we used to run it back in South Dakota low key until the pandemic hit. But it was like it started to like the music scene wasn't terrible like when I was like probably like a freshman or sophomore in high school. And so it was just like some pop rock, like grunge type stuff. Like that's like what a lot of bands out there do, or like country, like some pop things, but not a lot of like rap or anything like that. But it wasn't terrible actually. Like I always used to complain about it, but looking back, it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But
Think about that. So I would say that that kind of shaped who you are now because where you grow up and things you do of that nature shaped you. So how does that transition from South Dakota to moving to LA? How does that shape your music now? Because I know, like, I'm gonna take it for me personally. Like, I moved from Massachusetts to New Orleans, and that
hmm,
totally shaped me growing up because
right.
they're crazy different. And I had to make an adjustment, and it's like who I am now is a mixture of both. So how does that transition shape you?
I mean, I always I don't know. Okay, so like I always used to be like I didn't feel like South Dakota was my home. Like that's where I was from, but I didn't feel like I belonged there. And so I kept telling myself like once I get out of here, like whether it's like we move or I go to college, like I'm gonna be with my people no matter where I go. And so I came here and I kind of moved to a place that was similar from South Dakota because like I'm originally from it's called Beaumont, it's like out by Palm Springs, right? And so it was like little South Dakota within California. And so like that really was like tough for me for a little bit, but I think I kind of like came to college and I found my people, like out here and I feel welcomed and things like that. But I don't feel like moving here like really changed a lot for me because it was like by the time I moved here, I was almost like 18. I had 1 year left in high school. Like I wasn't that young. Like I don't feel like I was that impressionable. And so, but I do think like, because I moved here during the pandemic, I do think like staying at home with my mom and things like that kind of like shaped me a little bit more though, because like I picked up a lot of things, like what I want to do in life and things like that from her. And so,
No, no, that's actually good. Seeing you not being impressionable, that's actually a beautiful thing because a lot of people move places and the impressions or the dynamic of where they live changes who they are as a person. But not being impressionable, that's just beautiful. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
especially for someone younger.
yeah, I was really fortunate. I feel like God really protected me from things that I wasn't supposed to be a part of. So I'm very grateful for
Yeah. Oh man, then don't bring God into this, man. You're gonna call me to start preaching, and you're not gonna have that. So,
that.
so oh man. So now you're in LA, saying what I said how that transition has shaped you,
Hmm.
but how has it been for you now that you're there? Like I know you're putting out EPs. but being able to have that reach to reach more people in the industry, how is that helping you, and how's that affecting you positively and negatively? Because I know it could go both ways.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I'm at college right now, and so it's not like I went directly into the music industry. I'm kind of like I'm a part of it, but I'm like I feel like I'm kind of like just weaving right into it because like a lot of my professors are like big time people that like have done a lot, played on a lot of tracks, things like that. They've mixed the Grammys, they've written for several big time movies, right? So it's like I feel like I've just like my whole point right now is to just meet people, like to just meet people and get my name out there. Like I was talking about exposure earlier. Like I just want people to know like this guy can do this. Like if you need like I just got an email the other day, like if you need a guitar player, like this is your guy. Like you want him to play. And so I just want people to know like I can produce, I can sing, I can write, I can do all this stuff. And so if they need someone, like I'm there. And so I'm just very thankful for like all the people that I've met here because I feel like I wouldn't have met any of these people if I didn't come to college because there's just like connections and opportunities here that I don't feel like I could have found anywhere else. But
Man, that's dope, man. I really want to say just, I thank you for coming on the juice,
yeah, thank
little
you for
short
having me.
interview, get your exposure out there, um, really appreciate you. Just tell the people what you got going on next. You got any new EPs coming out, singles, um, telling the people you've worked with before, because I know you've done some collaborations with other people because I've seen them,
Yeah.
so it might be something they want to check out and look at.
As of right now, I don't have any collabs coming out, but I do have some singles and some EPs that I'm working on. They're getting mixed and mastered right now. If you wanna, if you wanna keep updated, you can follow my Instagram. It's KENDELJACOB, Kendal Jacob. My Twitter's the same as well. My YouTube is the same as well. I'm just mostly just I'm just working on my craft right now. Honestly, I'm just writing songs. I'm producing some stuff for some other people. You'll see later that I produced a couple songs for my homies at college. So I'm just, getting better at guitar and piano, all my instruments, just honing in on what I do. So, but yeah, I have some music that will be coming out hopefully by the summertime. I'm just waiting to get it mixed.
Okay. Yeah, all right, you know what I'm saying? So everybody, y'all heard him. Y'all know where he's at. Y'all need to go run them streams up, get that
Yeah,
exposure
for
out
sure.
there
Thank
for him,
you.
man. Definitely. Definitely appreciate you for coming through the juice. Yeah, and y'all know where I'm at, man. Where's IG? Because I'm everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, next episode, this is Saturday. Jay Latrice, you know, if I'm gonna find out if she's single for y'all because she's real nice looking, so I'm gonna let y'all know. What's that? But thank you for coming through. Special shout out to Social Ghost for giving us this platform to do this, and we'll see y'all on Saturday, man.